More reports of shootings tonight on the streets of St. Louis on what's been a violent weekend. So far, we've counted at least 14 shootings since Friday night. At least 5 people have died and more than a dozen others injured. This includes a quadruple shooting overnight in North City that left 2 teens dead and 2 others critically injured. It happened in the 2100 block of Branch Street in the Hyde Park neighborhood. Tonight, police still searching for the gunman. Just hours earlier, police found a man shot to death nearby in the area of Destrehan and Blair. Another man was taken to the hospital. And this follows 2 shootings on Cherokee Street. On Friday night, 2 men were killed, 2 other people injured. Last night, a man and a woman were shot and injured during Cinco de Mayo festivities. St. Louis police were also inundated with dozens of calls overnight just for the downtown area. Videos captured some of those issues of large crowds, people walking the streets with long guns, and shots fired. 5 on Your Side obtained a police department memo outlining it all. Our Laura Barczewski is live on Market Street, where evidence of some of that mayhem is stained on the street. Laura.
Mike, here at Market and 9th, you can see the burnout marks where people were doing donuts and blocking this entire street last night. This is just one area police received calls from just last night.
On Friday, St. Louis police said there would be more officers patrolling downtown. Les Sturman, a resident and chair of Citizens for a Greater Downtown, says it seemed like any other weekend.
We didn't see any police.
An internal St. Louis police memo says downtown officers were dealing with as many as 55 calls for service at one time. This is video from a 5 on Your Side source of what police called a slideshow near Market and 9th.
But this city will not grow, it will not survive unless we deal with some of the issues of lawlessness that are occurring more openly and more often on our streets.
The memo says some of the pedestrians in the area were armed with long rifles and reportedly fired numerous shots. We even found a shell casing near the scene hours later. And down on the riverfront, hundreds of cars blocked the road. That's where police received reports of more shots fired, and one group tried to drown a homeless person in the Mississippi River.
These are just tragedies waiting to happen, and again, it's totally predictable. We know what's happening, it's been happening, and yet the city seems uninterested in doing anything about it, which is, frankly, makes us pretty angry.
St. Louis police said in a statement in response to questions about an increased presence, quote, extra officers were staffed in the downtown area in addition to our mobile SkyCop cameras. However, I think it's important to note that officers were called to respond to various locations throughout the evening.
I know the police were overwhelmed with stuff happening all over the city. But things are just completely out of control down here. Large groups blocking streets, cars speeding through red lights.
While the constant trouble is frustrating for residents like Sturman and may scare some tourists away.
For those of us who are living here, it causes us to have a conversation every day about whether it's time to leave.
These 2 came from Chicago to St. Louis for an expo and didn't know a shooting happened down the street from where they were staying.
We both know the positive and negatives of living in big cities, but we still feel perfectly safe coming back here. We stayed less than 4/10 of a mile from this incident, had no idea.
Mayor Tashara Jones said in a statement the police department is reviewing and investigating this weekend's incidents and will continue to work alongside community violence intervention partners to address conflicts before they erupt. Reporting live from downtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.